Welcome to Tuesday's lesson. Before we get started, a little joke for you. Family goes into a new agent to put on their act.
We interrupt this lesson for today's important lesson objective. We interrupt this lesson for today's important lesson objective.
The aristocrats. No? Alright, so let's jump into today's lesson. Today's lesson is going to be 3 parts. The first part we're going to talk about is some division. We have a problem here, 24 divided by 6. I'm saying it because it's 24 divided by 6. You may also see it written as this way. However, a lot of people read that wrong and they say this is 6 divided by 24. It's not. This is still 24 being divided by the 6. It's kind of written backwards. We're going to see it this way for now, almost like a fraction. We want to reduce these till we get a whole number. So if remembering our times tables, 6 goes into 24 4 times because 4 times 6 is 24. So the answer for this is just going to be 4. I'm going to go into another example, but first a bad joke. What did the janitor say when he jumped out of the closet? Supplies! No? Okay. Moving on. Next example. We have 45 divided by 9. Again, another way to write that is going to be 9 going into 45. And if you're more comfortable writing this way, 9 can go to 45 5 times. 45 divided by 9 is going to be 5. So starting off slow, nothing too difficult. We'll have some more slightly challenging problems at the end of this, but for now, let's have you try one on your own. So why don't you try that now? All right, and we're back. 30 goes into 6 how many times, or 6 into 30? 30 divided by 6, the answer there is going to be 5. Again, not too bad. Let's go on to the second type of example that we're going to see today. And dividing by 0. So sometimes you're going to be asked to divide by 0 or have 0 divided into another number. Your answers are going to be one of two. It's either going to be a 0 or it's going to be something called undefined. So I'm going to explain each of those. So here I have 6 divided by 0 and 0 divided by 9. I like to write these out kind of like fractions. So if I have 0 divided by 9, I'm going to rewrite this as 0 divided by 9. And let me start with the bottom one here. So if I have 0 divided by 9, you can think of that as if I had a pizza that was cut into 9 slices. It is possible for you to eat 0 slices out of the 9 slices of pizza. You can do that. However, if you have a pizza and there's 0 slices left, you can't walk up to that pizza and say, I'm going to have 6 slices of those pizza. So our answer for here, if you had 0 out of the 9 slices, that can be reduced to a 0. If I have 6 over 0 or any number over 0, that's going to be what we call undefined. Because it's impossible to do that. I'll go over one more example, but first I have another bad joke. Imagine if Americans switched over from pounds to kilograms overnight. There'd be mass confusion. Mass? Wait, no? All right, moving on. I have another example, 5 divided by 0. Again, let's think of it in terms of pizza. Can you eat 5 slices of pizza if there are 0 to start out with? No, that's going to be our undefined. Can you eat 0 out of the 3 slices of pizza that are sitting there? Yes, you can, and you'd be eating 0. So let me have you try one on your own. Why don't you try that now? All right, going 0 divided by 9. It also might be more comfortable to write it as 0 over 9. If you have 0 slices, eat 0 slices of pizza out of the 9 that are there, you've eaten 0. But again, it's impossible to have 6 slices of pizza if there are 0 to start off with. That is going to be our undefined. And when I have these questions in Schoology, it'll be multiple choice, so you can pick if it's going to be a 0 or if it's going to be an undefined. You don't have to write the word out. Next type of problem we're going to have, we're going back to our days of division. These are going to be nice and easy ones because there's not going to be any remainders. We'll get to that tomorrow. So we're asked to divide 7 into 84, or we can say that as 84 divided by 7. When we start this, we want to look at the number we have here in the front, the 7, and see how many times it goes into the very first number we have here. In this case, that's going to be an 8. So 7 can go into 8 exactly one time, because 1 times 7 will give us 7. That is very close to the 8. If I said it goes in 2 times, 2 times 7 would be 14, and 14 is much bigger than 8. So 1 is going to be our answer there. So next I'm going to ask to do some subtraction. If I have 8 minus 7, I get an answer of 1. I'm going to bring down the 4, just the next digit over, and I have a 14. So now I want to see how many times can 7 go into 14. And if we remember our multiplication times tables, it goes in exactly 2 times. So 2 times 7, we get an answer of 14. 14 minus 14 is 0. So our answer here is going to be 12. Before I go into the next one, I have my last bad joke for the day. What did Batman say to Robin before they got into the car? Batman, well, I'm sorry, I'm Batman. Batman says, Robin, get in the car. I mean, what else is he going to say? All right, next example we have here. We're going to ask to get 5 into 70. So we have to start with the very first digit we have here, which is going to be my 7. How many times can 5 go into 7? Well, 5 can go into 7 exactly one time. If it was 2 5s, I'd have to be 10, and 10 is much bigger than 7, so that doesn't work. So 1 goes into 7, 5 goes into 7 one time. So 1 times 5, I get an answer of 5. And when I do my subtraction, I end up getting 2. And I'm going to bring down the 0 because that's my next number over. How many times can 5 go into 20? Well, it goes in exactly 4 times. So 4 times 5, I get an answer of 20. If I subtract those, I get 0, which means I'm done with my equation, and 14 is my answer. All right, one more example. This is one I'd like you to try on your own, so why don't you try that now? And we're back. How many times can 6 go into 9? It goes in there exactly one time. And I do my 1 times 6, I get an answer of 6. And if I subtract this, 9 minus 6, I get an answer of 3. And then I'm going to bring down the next number over, the 6. So I get 36. How many times can 6 go into 36? Well, that goes in exactly 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36. When I subtract that, I get 0. So 16 is my answer. So you have a couple problems to try just like that. If you have any questions, any concerns, come see me during my Zoom office hours. To prove that you've watched today's video, you need to enter in the secret password. Today's password is magnet, M-A-G-N-E-T, just like it is above. Put that in and you're all good. If there's no questions, I guess I'll see you tomorrow.